Okay, this should be an easy chapter. Let's get started. First, we need to know the two primary categories of property. One clue in the question will be the word property in the plural when it says, which of the following is the best definition of property? Or what are the two primary categories of property? That's a clue. The correct answer is real property is also called real estate or realty. It's the land and anything attached to the land, like buildings, fences, trees, underground minerals, air rights. Anything that's immovable is real property. Anything that's movable is personal property. Also called personalty, is defined by exclusion. If it's not real estate, then it's personal property. Like if you're moving from one apartment to another and you take your TV with you, that's personal property. Next, we have fixtures. These are items attached to real estate and they become part of the property. So if the seller had a custom cabinet built into the bathroom, that's a fixture and it becomes part of the property. Built-in appliances, carpeting, curtains, window treatments, anything attached to the property is a fixture and it's considered real property. Then we have trade fixtures. These are items used in a business. For example, if I lease a space and I install shelving, that shelving is considered a trade fixture. It's not attached to the real estate, but it's attached to the use of the property. And because it's attached to my use as a tenant, it remains personal property. And as a result, I can remove it when I move out. To transfer personal property, we use a bill of sale. The seller signs the bill of sale to transfer real property. We use a grant deed. The seller signs the grant deed. So if you're looking at these four options here, and the question asks for the type of document or the type of transfer, then you want to sign the document that will be signed by the seller. And here's an important tip. If the question asks for the two primary categories of property, then the correct answer is always real property and personal property. Don't get confused by answers that describe use, like residential versus commercial, or answers that describe a role or a function, like assets versus liabilities. Those are not the two primary categories of property. There are three other terms you should recognize. First is hypothecation. This is when you use property as collateral for a loan without giving up possession. Like if I own a car and I borrow money using my car as collateral, that's hypothecation. Second is encumbrances. This is a broad term that affects the use or the title of the property, and it will show up again in the finance chapter. And third, government rights. This includes land use, zoning, police power, and eminent domain. All of these are ways that the government can control how you use your property, and they all found in the government and politics chapter. Okay, click here for a review of all the terms in this chapter. And remember, real property is always signed by the seller. So it's a grant deed, and the two primary categories of property are real property and personal property.